It's official.
Hey guys, what's up? Bard's Tavern here with representing the Tabletop Misfits. Tonight we are going to have the guys that are putting out Tales of the Tape Deck, Yamil and Ahmed. Hey guys, what's up?
What's happening?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Nothing much. So, as always, we have to explain it to the audience watching. But we'll have three different kind of like ways of as we go. So the first one, it'll be me interviewing you, us having cross chat. Two, we'll have where the monster comes in, and that will be basically having where the monster comes out, and us talking about the monsters that you guys picked. And then the last one, we will actually go into the Twitch and have the lovely audience that is watching us tonight actually ask questions and whatnot.
Okay,
Kill it.
cool.
Sounds like
I'm
a
ready.
plan. Yeah.
So, how did you guys actually like come up with the name Tales from the Tape Deck? Is it just because it's in the tape deck size?
Yeah, essentially, like it all started from like I was at a thrift store here in North Carolina called the Scrap Exchange, and they'll get the most random items, right? And there was just a barrel full of empty cassette boxes.
Hmm.
So like just the empty ones, and I grabbed a bunch of them. Yeah, I grabbed a bunch of them, and I was like, I could fit like a game in here. Like maybe like so originally I was like maybe I can just like take this whole barrel and like use it for packaging, right? So that evolved when Med came on. We were trying to figure out what exactly it was, and that's where we kind of like went to the nostalgia of the '80s, the music of the '80s, but overall just music being a part of it, so that the tape deck actually became kind of like a found object from the world of Tales from the Tape Deck, right? So, um, like there's going to be different settings and different music, but that was like the overall idea.
Yeah, and I've gotten to do a little research on it on y'all's website and whatnot. And the three that y'all have that are coming out, it is just three, right? So far, four.
Four.
I must have missed one. But
No, it's good. Yeah, we started with three, and we're like, yeah, why not?
I was like, these sound really cool. Like I can't wait to actually like get to sit down and look at them. So of course, as we talked about before we started, when you guys get to Gary, I'll definitely have to come check out a game and see how it is. What did you guys like start with D&D or something whenever like that was your gateway into RPGs and stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, I tried to play third edition, and then I tried to play Pathfinder, and then it was just like one thing after another of like, hey, let's get this game together, and like over the years, it just kind of never happened. And then COVID rolled around, and I'm like, you all have nothing better to do right now than to learn this game with me and play on the internet. So I was able to con my friends into playing a home game online. And then that home game online turned into a home game at home. And then for some reason we decided to stream it because we thought we were funny. And at least we had fun doing that. And so yeah, 5e was my gateway, and then slowly, not really slowly at all, actually. Once I get into something, I'm like, I want to learn everything about it. I want to, what's the next thing? What's the thing after that?
Same.
And yeah, I rarely start at an entry level thing, and then now I have this, and it was shortly after that, then I like jumped into the industry, started working on stuff, and then learning more and more and more. So it was awesome. Yamil, what about you? You started much more
Whoa.
earlier than I did.
Yeah, I started in like 2002, 2003. with like third edition 3.5, and um, like I had like the Dungeon magazine, the Dragon magazine. I had like all the books. I would go get like uh, oh man, what's it called? Like Green Ronin used to do like these pamphlets, and I had a bunch of them. I still have some of them, but yeah. And then from there, kind of went to Pathfinder, and eventually like fifth edition Dungeon Crawl Classics, and just it was more gradual because at first, we everybody like we knew back in the day, like we knew about like GURPS and Traveler and
Yeah.
Vampire, but everybody kind of had like once they picked their main game, and that's what I like about like currently how things are going, where um, everybody is like, okay, well, I can tell me and my friends what we have Dark Space, we have Mothership, we have Spaceborg or Starborg or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Mhm.
Um, and it's just kind of like which one fits my group better, and like that's amazing to me. Where it's like, okay, I could run the same adventure on any of these systems, but it's the one that speaks to my table is the one that people are going with nowadays, which I hope it grows more and more.
Hmm.
Yeah. We had one where I had a character that actually like died. I mean, there's story that will come after it, but that was one thing, like having that first time where I had the guy that was running go, "Hey buddy, like your guy died. Uh are you okay?" And I was like, "Dude, like this is like acting. Like this is how we get it done. Like I'm playing this character in a campaign. If you want to throw him in a different campaign, I
Yeah.
can totally do that too." So I'm right there with you on that whole thing. Um so you said that 3 was kind of where you got into it. Do you get to play much 3 anymore, or do you usually focus in the 5 now?
Uh, I mean, lately I haven't played like it's kind of we are talking earlier about it.
Yeah.
But so I play five every once in a while now, but it's only at the game store,
Yeah, yeah.
our local game store. If we're playing here in the game room, we're trying to work through all of this collection and then this collection and then some there and then some that's upstairs and all that stuff. So we've had this really cool just like, hey, we're not going to play 5e, let's find something. I'll put up 3 or 4 games as options, and if people want to keep like running with it and play an arc, we can, and if we finish an arc, it'll be like 5 sessions, and after that we're like, all right, how are we feeling? Do we want to start something new? We can keep going with this, or we can like just revisit this later, because that's the other thing too. Like, you don't doesn't not every campaign needs to be a 10-year campaign where
Right.
everybody's playing the same characters over and over again. We bounce around. We kind of like universe hopping kind of thing. And that was like a really cool aspect that we've kind of brought to Tales from the Tape Deck actually too, is that
Mm.
each of these volumes that we're releasing has their own vibe, has their own music, and you can pick and choose classes and characters from each of them, and then drop them into the other adventures, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that it's a fun vibe, bringing in your orc to a sci-fi android world or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, doing the research on it and everything earlier, I love the idea for it. Um, I have a friend that actually makes perfumes that I've brought up possibly making like a little box that you send to people, and like while you're there, it's like, "Hey, smell this." Okay, okay. Like this is what scene you're in right now, and just really like immersing people into it. And I love the
Mhm.
idea of the music as well. Um, so with that, I will shout out Monument Studios. That's our sponsor. And we don't have any music playing in the background, obviously, because somebody forgot to give me that stuff. But
Is that how it works?
yeah, we usually have music playing in the background. I hope that they'll actually add this in afterwards. But we usually get that. You can actually put Misfit in for 30% off, and it's totally fun. But getting back into that, yeah. So you guys have like a metal one right now, right? For Tales from the Tape Deck.
Yeah.
Oh, music
So
wise, yeah.
Yeah.
music wise. So basically, yeah, I mean, it's for those that might not know, Tales from the Tape Deck is a fast-paced TTRPG that is meant to be quick, easy to learn, fast play, rules light, narrative forward, and you play the whole session within a 2-hour time frame. So you take a 1-hour playlist and you run through that, and then you repeat the same playlist in the same order. And if you can complete your objective by the end of the playlist, you've accomplished your goal. If you haven't, then there's repercussions for that. But the playlist plays twice, so then it ramps up the tension when you realize, oh, this is the second to last song playing again. We need to get moving. And then what we've done is had the music influences the adventure, and we have released 4 volumes, or will be releasing 4 volumes each, that have their own playlist and their own vibe, and then of course their own settings, classes, monsters, all that match that. So when you mention metal, yeah, we have 80s rock, 80s metal, and the first volume is called Righteous Ride of the Radicals. You are it's Mad Max meets Fallout meets Borderlands, all of this chaotic, apocalyptic desert rock, and it is high adrenaline. There's some cool, unique mechanics to this volume as there are for each of the others, and yeah, so yeah, we went with 80s rock, and that was honestly the first iteration that we kind of like came across with was I think Yamil had put together a playlist and was like, what does this speak? What does this say? And things started flowing from there.
Heck yeah.
And so metal was the first one. The second one is Dawn Without a Coffin.
Yeah.
And that one is like New Orleans jazz. So it's going to be more of that vibe. Then it's the Madness Motel.
Yeah, so we have we're working on it. We're workshopping a name for that one.
On the order, yeah.
But we have 2 more. We have the Madness Motel, which is like if you took Cthulhu and Eldritch Horror meets The Shining and created this depth crawl out of it. So you're timed on this depth crawl of what you can do and how you can get through. And then we have like each volume kind of has its own bit, with Mad Max, it's a race and dueling with different cars as you're ripping through the desert. The Dawn Without a Coffin is more of a mystery kind of thing, as you are vampires in New Orleans and your coffins are missing and you've got to find them before dawn, because otherwise you're at dawn without a coffin. Madness Motel is like a death crawl to escape this horror hotel. And then we have Detroit City, which is you are a now sentient android in New Detroit, and you have to you're racing to a reverse heist to input a code into the mainframe to make all androids alive and sentient. So each kind of has its own vibe. The last one is very much like electronic music. Madness Motel is like this eerie 1930s kind of vibe with Bioshock kind of feel and all of the old early music that would be on some of the first records and vinyl. We've kind of, and we have like, the worst part is we keep thinking of things, and I'm the guilty one of this, because I will text Yamil out of nowhere and be like, dude, we have to make this. and now we have a laundry list of volumes that we want to make, and we we're like, well, we should probably start with 4 because that's where everybody starts. You start with 4, right? Because why not?
And then you just wait and you sneak a 5th one in on a meal and be like,
he did.
I mean,
he did.
We kind of are already.
Oh no!
The sneaky one is and I just turned it into him today.
Yeah.
We're doing a kind of crossover with Pirate Borg for Gen Con. So like that's
Gary.
That's gonna be like one of the secret volumes.
Yeah.
Or I call them the bootlegs.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we already have these bootleg volumes, which are just like, man, they're fun, they're awesome, and it's like, so much of this music kind of mentality that we can take and bring and put into the game.
And we're using the official Pirate Borg.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh, see, and I can't wait for that because like I don't know about everybody else, but like I'm a big board game person, and so like we're only seeing this shelf right now, but I mean like I have like 4 or 5 shelves all over the place, and that's one thing when everybody's like, hey, we're going to a con, I'm always like, should I bring board games? I'm like, I want to go through TSA with that many board games. So I love the idea of this because it also reminds me of the little toys as a kid. Where you'd open it up and it was Arby
the micro machines.
Yeah. And they're like this big, and you just, or it's dinosaurs or whatever. So I mean, I love the idea of this, and you can take it with you everywhere.
Yeah, and it's very much meant to be. It's 2 hours of play. It's short and sweet. I shortened it the other night when we were running a play test and ran an hour, and we had a complete story. It was great. We had a great time and fit an RPG into an hour, and so often, the games are probably like an average of 3 or 4 hours, right? But like we've all played a session that was like way too long, and we're like falling asleep, or you're on your 5th Red Bull, or whatever non-affiliated energy drink you choose. But
right, just
exactly.
What are you doing? So, and I mean, I think that's a really cool idea where the playlist comes into it too. Is, hey, that you only have this long, and so if somebody is playing real slow, you can go, this is like the 5th song. We only got like 2 left, right?
One of my favorite moments was at Page, where I was running the game a lot. We were going back and forth as dungeon masters. Or judges, or whatever you want to call it, and one of the players accused me of playing too slow, and I'm like, I'm running the game, like I'm not playing, like you're asking me questions, I'll happily answer all day, and so he became convinced that I was working against the players, and I was like, no, like it's not that type of game. It's like, the clock is ticking. You guys tell me what you want.
Yeah.
That's separate from me.
And so explain to me and explain to the audience. So like when you buy this, you get a cassette tape, and then when they open it up, what does it look like when you do that?
So it well, Ahmed, you have the
I have the thing. All right. So well, maybe not a broken one because we're working on that. So basically, you have this. Inside will be a small fold out or booklet that has the core rules. There will be a J card, the like normal sleeve that goes into cassettes that will have a rules reference for you. And then you will have a J card. And then this is your character sheet. And that's all you have and need. And I'm trying to bring it so that my light's not shining off, that kind of stuff. But this is all you need to bring to a game. And let's say you're at a convention and you have a handful of these, or you're going to camping, or you're going on a long car ride. Any of it, especially that it's only 2 hours, especially that you can have music there. And you have your fiber. Well, of course I have one that's falling apart now, but
you broke it.
Dang it.
Yeah. Well, these are from
Yeah.
1980. So they're,
Yeah.
but
It got there.
Yeah. I mean, they're working.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then like as a GM, you'll have the same kind of thing, but it will be full of resources, of maps, of adventures, monsters, items, cards, all kinds of stuff. So
Awesome.
that is it basically is kind of an option for like build your own kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the other option is to just like, have all, each volume is going to be a different thing in itself. So ideally, we can all go to Goodwill and get a tape cassette tower and
Yes.
and get the collection. Or I don't know, maybe we'll make them. We'll figure that out too.
Yeah.
But
So when you get one, is it just is each cassette meant for one person?
It'll have it'll have everything you need to play with a group.
Okay.
Now, if you want your own cassette, that's
Yeah.
On you and totally an option. But yeah, it's going to be a whole game in each cassette. It's going to be intact. You should be able to play it as is. The volumes, the additional volumes are the adventure aspects, so they are lean a little bit closer towards the GMs, with the exception of classes. But because the classes are different from each volume as well, because they're going to have the adventures, they're going to have the other stuff, but the core rules are going to be the core rules across the board. And we have some really cool mechanics that we've worked on and we've tweaked, and we've been play testing this for over a year now, multiple conventions, multiple games, multiple volumes, and it's been a riot, and it's a fun intense 2 hours, I'll tell you that.
To clarify a little bit, so in the Kickstarter it'll show you like that there'll be like a core rules, right? So the core rules is the booklet and the J card, but there's no cassette tape.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and then there will be an actual cassette tape for 200 copies, and that's music that we had to license ourselves, and there's some original music from me and a few other people that's just meant to like enhance that vibe, because the cassette with music will have it'll be for Righteous Right of the Radicals. So it's the 80s one. We're not using music from the 80s because that would be insane to license.
Yeah.
And everybody already has it available.
Yeah.
So it's going to be some original music and some like from bands that I found or artists that made beats or whatever that like that really get that same like vibe of the 80s.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see that piece of it, just because like to have customized it's
so cool.
like the mixtape that we're providing for your game table.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah,
and of course those are the limited copies. There's options for ways to listen to inspired playlists, to listen to demo
the curated playlist
and QR. Basically are via QR codes to all the things that normal people, not normal people, sorry, that's wildly rude.
It's the most accessible way.
Hey,
thank you.
Yeah, we're normal now. I mean,
Well, the thing is, like,
RP
I'm not
people.
normal, and that's where I'm like, other people, humans.
Yeah. So, since you guys had to kind of like play test this yourselves or whatever, are there like from bands that you guys like unofficial playlist of like, hey, this is Yamil's like special playlist of like Metallica and like all these other groups that, hey, this is how we play tested it, that are maybe out there or something?
So there'll be the original music, right? And then there's the what we call like the curated playlist or the suggested playlist,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is the one that
Mm-hmm.
for Righteous Right of the Radicals, it starts off with Kickstart Your Heart
yeah.
by Motley Crue, and it
Mm-hmm.
has um, We Are the Road Crew
Mm-hmm.
by Motorhead.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it has that like that was the music that inspired it.
Mm-hmm.
So but we can't like put it as part of our product, right? So we just
Right, right.
share that that link with
Just
everybody.
share our inspired playlist. We're not
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to take or make or anything off of it. Yeah, it's just it's
You're
out
just
there, and
saying,
they're still
hey,
making money out.
if you guys like to listen to this,
Yeah.
um, that kind of reminds me of there's a really small one that's an RPG that I like that's called Void 1968, I think is what it is. And that's what it is. Like you're supposed to be able to play it solo, but like my whole thing would be like taking one of you guys with it, and you use a deck of cards, and it's like, hey, what's a song you would pick that makes you think
Oh yeah,
about
that one. Yeah.
like a sunny day in a Sunday drive or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And so you pull it out that way. So um again, I love music. That's really what it
Yeah,
comes down to.
It's
and
it's really
that
easy
was
So
the
because
other
that's
piece.
yeah that would like that's how we
yeah,
we make in design is like we're like, all right, well, what is this song? This song's awesome. What does this song evoke from us? Is this gonna be like I can see myself fighting this giant thing and climbing it Shadow Colossus style as I'm and all of a sudden you have this inspiration for a monster or a micro dungeon or whatever it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Um, and it's fun to be able to and that's also like part of the core rules too is like, hey, here's what we did, you go do it. It's all just music. You listen to your own music and see what it evokes out of. We're probably listening to music when we're designing or writing or prepping or whatnot anyway, so may as well use it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the other thing is like all us nerdy people, not the normal people that uh from earlier, but the nerds, like
uh,
we're nerdy because we're passionate, right?
mhm,
Like we're passionate about something. So a lot of times, like worlds collide, right? Or whatever. Where it'll be, I'm passionate about music. I'm passionate about RPGs. I'm passionate about trains, whatever.
Yeah,
Um, and like to me, that was like a way to celebrate the different groups within our nerdy sphere, right?
mhm,
Where there are people that uh, like that they know the Final Fantasy OST by heart, and that's what they like to play. Or there's other people that are like me, where we'll play like metal or some dungeon synth or just
mhm.
beats in the background to kind of like keep that tempo going. So like we wanted to celebrate everybody. um, that's why like the diversity in music is there, because it would be really easy to just be like, all right, we're gonna do every Iron Maiden, every Judas Priest.
Mhm.
We're gonna like that, like that's awesome,
yeah,
and I would play like uh was it Defender of the Faith or
yeah,
whatever Judas Priest, yeah, and but I liked doing the variety and celebrating it because it almost felt like we were like reverse like we made the soundtrack before we made the movie,
yeah,
Mhm.
right? So like that's why a lot of the choices in terms of the music, it was like, all right, well at the beginning we're less likely to see a fight, like
yeah,
especially because we were running it at conventions. A lot of
Mhm.
people would just kind of like wait for that moment to break the ice. So like that's why the playlist is like they're all decided a certain way because oh, like towards the end of the first hour we want to make it faster. We want to give them that second wind. Like we're really playing with it and like making sure at cons. And we've run it at home. I've run it at a bar.
Yeah.
Um, it's been really awesome. just to because like people will just start jamming out, like when we play something in the background, and we have it just so like it's not distracting. It's more like that the ambience, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
like right
Yeah.
when you play your favorite song, if you're like working out, or if you're trying to start your day, or you're trying to celebrate that you made it past the end of a work day. It's like catching that moment
Mm-hmm.
and putting it in an RPG.
Yeah. Is there a song that comes to either one of your minds that like while going through and making these, like one that you wouldn't have originally listened to before that really just now sticks out and you're like, that's my song.
Yeah, I have one that it's not in any. I mean, it'll probably be in the Dawn Without a Coffin, but
Yeah.
it's like it might be in there. Like if we sneak it in there, is Ghost. I'm a marionette.
Oh
Um,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Just because like that, I saw that vibe, and like the parallels between like a vampire and like a puppet and like New Orleans and that whole mysticism. Like that just kind of like that was like the one where I was like, huh, like there's something to this where we got to go look for these songs that have that either cinematic feel or they evoke something
Mm-hmm.
specifically.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'll have that one because it's not jazzy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, yeah, hey, whatever,
It can
whatever
have
works. You can, yeah.
he's like I mean like don't tip me. Don't tip me. There will be a cassette that comes out, you know.
Oh no.
It may be like 3 cassettes, but you just wait. It'll happen.
I
Um
mean,
yeah,
What was
I
yours,
mean
Ahmed?
honestly, it was also, I think, for volume 2.
Gone Without a Coffin.
Listening to some of this old cool, so like my dad played blues and jazz growing up, and I would like know songs or hum them, and I've never known who the hell was singing. I don't know who was, I was just like on in the background. And then now that I've kind of like dove into this, I'm like, all right, well, oh, that's, I know them. I've heard this before, and
yeah,
it's just really cool to hear and to see some of these people, these artists, and especially in this weird, creepy, like swamp blues, or old school trumpeting horn, where it kind of has this like vibe that is just like unsettling now. I think, I don't know, it's interesting. It's really cool, especially that we're like blending it with this sense of horror and 1700s kind of like piratiness. So
oh yeah. I mean like I keep going back to it. Like I love that idea because that's usually how I build part of my characters for games.
mm-hmm.
And the big one that I keep going back to, it's called Neon Medusa by the Night Midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
like just listening to the words or whatever, like you realize like you could almost put somebody in place of, they're here to protect you and they're trying to save you from whatever the Neon Medusa that'll steal you. And then
Mm-hmm.
at the end you realize like the words change it up where no, the Neon Medusa turns into you, and that now you have to be scared of me, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
what? So yeah, and the music will totally take you on that journey. So I
Yeah.
think it is fantastic. Um, just this whole Tales from the Tape Deck, and I can't wait to get to see you guys in person and actually try this out, and
Yeah.
wait for the Kickstarter so I can actually snag a copy. Um, but we went a little over. That's totally fine. Um, to the dragon noise we usually do. Uh, I'm not gonna make any of us look stupid by like one of us trying to do it, but that would mean basically we're at the half hour mark. We're a little past that. and talk about what monsters you guys are bringing to the table for us to talk about when the monsters attack.
When the monsters attack.
Yeah.
All right. I know you, Emilio, you had one locked and loaded.
Oh, yeah, I had the Hydra.
Yeah.
Because I wrote an adventure last year or year before that had a cat Hydra, and it was 2 torties and a calico, because that's the cats that I have, and it kind of like acted as a combination of the 3 personalities from the cats.
Yeah.
So like one of them likes to hide, the other one gets right up on you, and then the other one like just looks at you from far away, which I turned it into it throws bones at you. So
Yeah.
like that was the cat Hydra that I had, and the adventure was maiden mother and crone, which is a song by the sword.
Yeah.
So like in everything I do, music is in there. Like in last year, I did a Weird Frontiers adventure called When the Sky Comes Looking for You, and that's a Motorhead song. So it's just everything. There's so many little references in there. But back to the monster. What's yours, Ahmed?
I'm gonna go with vampire, but with an asterisk, because I think that like you can do so many different types of things
Vampire.
eating people.
Yeah.
In that sense, and like the aspect of cannibalism, or you could go to like Guillermo del Toro's The Strain, where they're more like it's a virus, right? And they turn into these like wild creatures, and or like I was participant in Mothership Month this past year. So I released an adventure called Stand Deliver, and or rather funded it, and it's like a drug that goes around changing people into these feral beasts that they gain, hunger for flesh kind of thing. And that all of that is some part or some variation of a vampire, and I think it's really cool ways that you can kind of like manipulate and move that around. Or you can go just like standard gothic horror, I don't want to say tropes, but there's so much there already with a vampire that you can kind of just piece together or fit to terrorize your players. Yeah, that's what we're doing here, right? Like it's making it creepy or making it horrible, and making them regret that they talked poorly to the normal civilian in town or whatever.
Yeah. No, and I love it. Kind of like what we talked about before. Like most of the undead ones, you fit them to the situation. But I always like when you can figure out, like you said, and I love that you said add the asterisks at it, because everything can be changed to fit anything. I mean,
yeah, we just made a cat Hydra.
Yeah. I mean, we just got done talking about that y'all's second tape was vampires. So
Yep.
and how the vampires come out, and especially like here at the Misfits when we've played Vampire the Masquerade, like the idea of how different people have vampires and stuff, like that just throws me off. We actually had a game that I played in, and the guy goes, "Hey, like I know you're playing a werewolf, but I have somebody that's not going to be there. Can you make a vampire real quick?" And I have a little guy, so we were like binge watching all of the Wonka movies, and I made a vampire Willy Wonka.
Oh, that's creepy.
And everybody was like, this shouldn't work. This shouldn't work. And I was like, no, it does work. And his whole thing was trying to make like the chocolates to go around and like give to him. So like whenever they're like, hey, well, what about his like familiars and stuff like that? I was like, yeah, well, he brought all 5 of the kids with him. and each one he has a specific diet for them.
I love that.
And he goes, now when I have to extract their blood and coagulate it and everything else and put it in the chocolate bar, they each have their own individual flavor.
Good.
So, and I loved playing that because like at one point we had where another vampire had gotten his head taken off and Wonka walked up and kind of like went around the circle of the neck where the blood was and would like tasted it, and he goes, this isn't a good flavor at all, like throw this out. And like that was his whole thing, is almost playing like this Mad Hatter kind of Wonka character that's a vampire that just does what he wants to do, did all this other stuff, and is really just crazy about the candy like he's always been. So that was, I've been asked to make so many different characters now because of that one. I'm like, I think I'm gonna have to back off of making characters for a while.
Yeah. Take a break.
But yeah, and then like you said with the cat hydra, I mean, that is such a unique twist on that. Like, would you have ever allowed the party to like, hey, would you take the rope and like turn it into a big yarn ball and throw it across the room?
Oh yeah.
Like, like this is how you can't really defeat them. You just got to watch out.
That, right. Some people.
Yeah. I mean, it's all cats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people will, like, they just don't want to fight a cat. Like, and I understand that. So like, I'll just either like progressively turn it more demonic, so that it was never like a hydra, or it was never a cat. It was always some sort of weird hydra. But yeah, I let people have tried to tame it, and then they like start a cat rescue, because the rest of the dungeon, there's a lot of kittens and cats around. So a lot of people, it brings a lot of the cat fans to the table, but they come up with all sorts of creative things, like you said, like we've had the yarn ball, we've had people go look for chew toys. It's been awesome because I just leave it open ended. I want to see what kind of story they would tell.
So you almost like Stranger Things did with the Demogorgons, but they're all cats.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Which, I mean, that also brings to mind one of my favorite movies is the 1979 version of The Hobbit. And that one, when they had portrayed Smaug kind of looked like a giant cat.
Yeah.
He did have very features.
Yeah, so, I remember that, and I remember that with goblins as well. That they either made them either more rat looking or cat looking.
Yeah. And that's a crazy thing too. Just knowing, I also cover like on a podcast that I cover a lot of anime, and the idea of like what we know as orcs and kobolds and stuff, and what they look like in different media and things like that. And, you know, how many things like that are animals.
Like Kenku and
yeah. What has been the best time for either of you running these creatures, besides the cat dungeon? And is there any like diversity that you feel like you could also run with them? More so, maybe put in a more human aspect, like maybe the party's not there to kill these creatures, maybe they're there to do something else.
I mean, it's go ahead.
I did a couple years ago, I did a Theros campaign, and obviously there has to be a hydra, so I made a so I have the Epic Encounters miniature that's really like, it's a hydra, but it's like this big. And when I put that on the table, they were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna fight that." So they kind of like found like almost like a Herculean thing like I guess there was a Hydra in Hercules Myths, but they didn't go off and kill it. They
Yeah.
like did everything they could to like either lure it away from the city or um, like I think that was one of them called their god, and so I had the white mana guy show up. I forgot his name, but it was the demigod, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and they just settled it that way. They were like, it was almost like dealing with a thunderstorm or something like that. It wasn't. They were like, well, yeah, we're not fighting it or killing it. We're just gonna like see if we can do the best to make everybody survive.
We're just gonna wait it out till it moves away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm glad that you brought up epic encounters because I'm a big fan of that. And I think I stopped right before they had the Cimmerblorum one come out,
Mm-hmm.
which was like the giant tree golem. But
Ah,
like,
okay.
uh, I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, and I keep trying to be like a lot of people are sleeping on this. Like you got to pick at least one up. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, they're fun. I have a
Yeah.
couple. I have that one, and I think it's like a whale or something. It's some sea creature, and it's just like just a good miniature to have, but also the scenario. It's
the
a lot of
dragon
fun.
turtle.
Dragon turtle, yes, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that. I actually use the local legend one when my characters are going through town and I just need like a break session to like figure stuff out.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll go through and I'll actually give them a weapon inspired by the creature that they fought for the local legend stuff.
Oh, cool.
That's
So,
perfect.
But so vampires and
Yeah.
and what unique way have you used them besides asterisk? That's what we'll go with.
By the asterisk. You know, like I really like especially villains. You know, like monsters to me are more like animalistic, and there's an instinct feature, and like they're gonna try to run away when they're they're wounded. But like when you have a villain, it's rarely black and white. You know, there's always this gray area, especially like with good villains, like like Dr. Octopus thinks he's doing good. you know, like he's trying. So like when it comes to that kind of villain, I like having some factor that is like, if they do a little bit more investigating, they find out that really this vampire is taking care of somebody that is terribly sick or fending off a greater evil. I've used that before, which was really fun. And that like this vampire has been kind of what's the word, like chosen to fend off this greater infernal evil. And sure enough, my players walk in and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill him. And then I'm like, all right, well, as you go through all their notes, they find out that there's a big old portal to hell. So
oh man,
that's open now. Congrats. Which is it's always a fun way to throw some twists, and especially when like you have this trope of like, this is a vampire, this is supposed to be a bad guy, or you give them humanizing aspects, and certainly there's always something, rarely is it you ever killed the bad guy and you get to go home a hero, with me at least.
Yes. Well, and I also like the aspect, and I think this fits the asterisk in a lot. If you ever got to read the I Am Legend book, and I love the whole aspect of like the guy went around, he was killing the vampires, which in the movie it makes it seem like they're more zombie-esque. But he's killing them, he's doing all this, and then you realize like at the end of the book, you have this big order of vampires that are actually like social. They know everything, they know how to talk, and they're like, hey buddy, you not only were killing the ferals that we didn't care about because obviously they're a lost cause, but you were killing our people. And then they took him, and you're just like, So that's another way I really like, I think, going with vampires is that you do have that kind of muddied water with them, because you do have the feral ones that are just out for a bite, and then you have the actual ones that are like, they could be like, I'm trying to worry about getting through midterms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so you have complete opposite spectrums of it. So I love that aspect. But let's kit bash this. So a vampire hydra.
Oh man, I think a vampire hydra would.
I think it would
What,
be a
well,
lot smaller.
and how
Yeah, I
would
think it would be
how would it
smaller.
be a vampire hydra though? Would it be like vampire heads? Kind
Well,
of like
naturally, it's when a
floating it?
vampire and a hydra fall in love.
Yeah, naturally.
And
Naturally.
and I think at least in my head canon, I think it's like fast and like skittery,
Yeah.
and
I mean, it's like a Velociraptor Hydra.
ooh, yeah.
Oh,
Would be like the
no.
perfect vampire
Yeah.
Hydra with like
Mhm.
that creepiness that it can sneak in. It's fast, and but then like maybe just 3 heads. I don't know, because then it would be a lot of bulk at the
I
top. If you
think-
just
Right.
Man, I think it's like snaky heads, almost like tentacle with like a bunch of different xenomorph.
like a
Wow.
salamander.
yeah.
xenomorph,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know, like I think that would be definitely cool. I don't know how I think it would be more instinctual and animalistic in the way I kind of put the spin on it, but maybe it has babies. There's always
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a clutch of eggs that it's sitting on.
Yeah.
Again, naturally.
Most
it's
definitely.
more-
Naturally.
Yeah.
More
actually.
vampire bat than
Ooh, yeah, that'd be
than
cool.
Dracula.
Yeah, I forgot about the
Yeah.
wings. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the wings. I was just thinking of like if you had like these weird humanoid vampire heads, and like
Ooh,
when
yeah,
they
like a
go to
false
attack,
hydra.
you have like however many heads it is all trying to go and like
Yeah.
get blood from whatever its victim. And I mean, obviously after they attack and they walk off, it's like you're just a husk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
or it's just a human with multiple heads that happens to be also a vampire.
Yes.
Just full on normal guy, fucking
Be like,
just walking
you
around.
thought I was dead.
Yeah,
2 heads pop up.
yeah, 2 heads. Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Somebody killed him once, and then somebody killed him another time, and another time, and another time, and all of a sudden, Greg the vampire is just walking around with 20 heads.
Oh my god, that could get
Wait, so every
stupid
time it
real
kills,
fast.
it gains a head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it splits. Yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah.
Does it get bigger? Has to
Yeah,
get
I don't know.
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If not, it would just be like a stack of heads. It would fall over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's non-Euclidean, so
Yeah.
we don't need to worry about that.
That's
Oh
how
my
we get.
God.
That's how we somehow end up back to a beholder. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just runs out of space, and it's just
Mhm.
one giant head, and then the
Yeah,
eyeballs
head
and the
stalks.
rest. Yeah.
Then all the eyeballs have to pop out. There we go. Yeah. Honestly, that sounds pretty scary.
Yeah.
I'd run it. We just we got a new monster card that we're gonna throw in the GM thing now.
in like
there you go.
5th edition, what like challenge rating would it have to be?
Oh god,
Oh,
for
man.
something like that. What is a Hydra, like a 12?
I think Hydra depends on the heads, if I
Yeah.
remember right.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Because
would
I
say
know vampire
it's like
could
a
be
small
like
skittery one.
7.
I don't know. I feel like a small skittery one would be like moderately low, maybe like a 7 or 8. But then also like you get enough of them, and that
It'd be boss
be
level.
brutal.
Let's just say that it'd be boss
Yeah.
level. It's gonna evolve as
Yeah.
over time. Starts out at like a 5. Everybody encounters it again. It's like, hey, this is now a CR8, and then you encounter it again later, and this is a CR5,
Yeah.
and you're like, are you just really trying to mess with us, or what's up with this? Man,
More heads.
especially after every time the party defeats it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that would suck.
It's just like a starfish. It makes more of them. Like each of the heads turns into another one.
There you go. Tape
And then
deck
the
number
heads
6.
grow back. Yeah, there you go.
Tape deck number 6. There you go.
There you go.
No.
It's a new bootleg.
Yeah. Well, so we're going to go into it a bit early, but we're going to open it up to everybody else that has questions out there on our thing. And we also have our happy hour questions that we like to use as well.
Okay.
So how that works is one of y'all will roll a d20 and then we'll do the other one afterwards. But there's a question or a list of questions that we like to use. So whoever wants to go first, I'll find the question and put it out there for us.
I got a 2.
A 2. How long have your current campaigns been running, and what's the longest you've ever run? Which this is a good question because you said you don't like to stick to long campaigns too much.
So so I can't remember if we were talking about it before or talking about it earlier in when we were live, but I stick to my campaigns usually around 8 max. 8 sessions maximum now, and then like if we come back to these characters at another time, cool. But I think we can get like a good story arc with 8 without having to like start a new arc and still kind of explore characters that way. So that's like my average. But the longest we when we began streaming, we streamed for 52 sessions of 5e, and that was the same group, the same core characters, and it was really cool. We had like this epic cool thing, each character kind of had their own vignette side quest kind of thing, where everybody was all helpful, and then there was ultimate big bads that needed taken down, but I will say like it was taxing as a GM, and it was when like I was a younger GM, and I certainly wouldn't run it the same way I did then as I would now. I like it's a joke between our tables that they're like, oh hey, well what do your notes say? And I look down and it's like goblin question mark. So that's how I run a lot of my games now. But before it was like elaborate, and I would have, I'm doing CR measuring, and I'm doing what would happen if they went this way and that way. And you quickly learn when you're playing with some of your best friends and you're cutting your teeth on people that have no problem messing with you, that they quickly began to say like, all right, well, how can I get Ahmed to act on his feet instead of whatever he's like, what can I really do to get under his skin, or make him, let's see what he can come up with today kind of thing. So yeah, that was 52 is the short answer to the long question.
Is that where you were like, hey guys, we are not doing XP anymore, we're doing Milestone?
Oh yeah. We started Milestone. XP was they would have had too much of it, just killing villagers for 1 XP or whatever. But,
oh my gosh, right?
Murder hobos playing the games for the first time,
And then, do you have a current campaign that y'all are kind of playing in, or is it just a lot of play test right now?
Right now, it's been a lot of play tests. I want to get Shadow Dark to the table. We've had some Mothership kind of popping in and out. So like there's like a Mothership crew, and they've been going on these like vignette kind of one shots that end up tying together. So I think that would probably be like the closest one. And then we just started Triangle Agency. So if we can get that, keep getting that to the table, that's been a fun time so far. Very wild and abstract and
I think
crazy book, but
I think one of our guys picked up Triangle Agency.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot about that one, but we do have one of our guys that is all about the Shadow Dark. So we actually have like a crew game that like isn't recorded or anything, so we can all just be in our jammies or anything else like that. And it's like, hey guys, we've run so many games. Now we're just going to kind of BS and run our own game without having to be like, good at it. If we have one of our other people that like cuss a lot, they're like, I can be so unprofessional. So, but what about you, Jubilant? You have a current one or anything?
Yeah. Current one is one where we. So I started it in January, and it's a bit crazy. So it's based on Genius Loci by it's an Appendix N short author. I can't remember right now, but it's about a location, kind of like Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer, where it's like weird things happen in that specific location. So it's taking the scope and opening it up way more. So the first session was a Morkborg. So it's assumed that it was like medieval times, and they're in this strange valley. And then the next one is using Pasión de las Pasiones, the powered by the Apocalypse telenovela RPG. So it's going to be in the same valley, but like in the 1960s, and as a Spanish telenovela. And then the next session after that, we're doing Weird Frontiers, where it's Weird Frontiers in the future.
Yes.
So it's like cowboy space wranglers, like that. They're like herding dinosaur in that same valley. And then I can't remember what the last one. What the last one is? Oh, it's liminal horror. But I think it's set in like the far future.
Yeah.
That was just like what we all kind of decided, and my players picked the 4 game systems they wanted to play, and I had to like have an overarching like West Marches type story going on.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I make fake lore documents. Like I keep
so
looking
you
down
actually
here.
give it to him?
Oh yeah, I
love that.
So like here's the next one. So that's a riddle, and there's a little like piece of art that I drew.
Is that all redacted?
Yeah, it's all redacted.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So like,
let me ask you this, because I've asked a lot of people that come on the show, and all of them just kind of look at me like, yeah, I might have heard about it in passing, but seeing as much redaction that's on that, have you ever heard about like the SCP stuff at all?
Tell me more. I don't know.
So SCP is supposed to be, it stands for Secure, Contain, Protect. And it's basically like this big thing that blew up that there are so many different things in the world that are unexplainable, and it gets an SCP number to it. And you can actually go on the website for it, and like there's things that people do just the same, where it'll have this big article and things will be redacted out of it, so you just know enough of the story. But I mean, there's so many things for it. There's like the Doctor, which is a guy that has one of the old like bird masks for the plague doctors.
The plague doctor, yeah.
And like it's actually like part of his skeleton and everything. And the guy knows, like, if you're sick, the guy can just tell, and you become like his next victim, and he just wants to operate on you.
Oh, that's so cool.
I mean, you have so many different ones. You have like random ones that there's a refrigerator that has like magnets and stuff on it, like a note from your mom and all this other stuff. And it has a bag in it that's called like a bag from Jerry. And it has a note in it, everything else, with a sandwich. But if you disrespect the refrigerator or the sandwich at all and throw it on the ground or whatever, then you disappear. and they test the meat on the sandwich, and they find out that it's got the same DNA with the person that disrespected it.
Oh.
So I mean, they're all over the place, but yeah, seeing that like completely made me think about, oh my god, like you may know this stuff.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty
wild.
wild.
Yeah, the
I like
back
it.
rooms.
I like it though.
Do you know what the back rooms are?
The back rooms.
Yeah, so that's kind of like another thing, but SCP actually ended up absorbing the back rooms into itself.
Okay.
But yeah, Wild Ride, you'll have to do that and then message me
Yeah.
later on and be like, Jacob, I can't believe you put me down this rabbit hole, but I love the idea.
It sounds like plenty of imagination fuel, you know, like if you're
Yes.
looking for any inspiration for a game
Yeah.
or connections or something like that, it
Yes,
sounds like,
yes.
you know,
And it's all over the place. I mean, there are very few and far between any kinds of things that aren't imagination fuel in it.
yeah.
I mean, it could be a location, it could be whatever, and there's so much in it, and you realize like it almost seems like a Men in Black operation, but it's not.
Yeah.
So along those lines, I went to when I went to Page, I stayed in Delaware where my parents live.
Yeah.
And I went to a museum that was having a show about the patent office, where the patent office used to require that you send in a prototype, like but not like a working prototype, like a model woodwork of whatever you're patenting. So that quickly piled up. Like there was so many different things.
Yeah.
And taking pictures and looking at all of these, like it's been like really inspiring for me because they'll be like we when we were there, we played the game of like, what is it? What is it supposed to be?
Oh
And
no.
like, because they all look steampunky, because they'll have like years and
Yeah.
all sorts of things. And like, I found out like a lot of them are online now. So I've been like grabbing images and being like, all right, if I like photo bash this with something else, it'll look
Yeah.
like a cyber or not cyberpunk, steampunk barn
Yeah.
or something. And
Mhm.
so I've been looking into that because it's just so many. It would be like there was somebody that sent uh, it was a security measure, and it was just like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It was a gun pointed at a doorway, and when the door opened, it would pull the trigger and shoot whoever was there.
Yeah.
And yeah, and another one would just be like, um, it was a bed that when you took off the mattress, it would have a fire escape, like
Built in.
built in that you unfolded to get out of your apartment.
Oh
And it
man.
showed like why, like this is a patent that somebody held for some time. I don't know if it's expired or not.
Yeah.
But it was just ridiculous stuff.
I love the idea that like somewhere at that time somebody was like, listen, I got a great idea.
Yeah.
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 We get your fire
Well,
escape under your bed.
and it's
they're like, you should patent that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so crazy some of the experiments of what they get made for and then what it turns into. Like the chainsaw's completely crazy because that was supposed to like help women pass a baby, and then it
Yeah.
was like, but you know, this would be a lot better if we used it on trees, and you're like,
Yeah.
What?
you know, that's correct. I think we should
Yeah.
try that, you know. So I completely like understand the thing of it looking like alien and futuristic and steampunky, and you're just like, this could be what was it used originally? Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like they had a bunch of different patents on like an ironing board, like an iron.
Yeah.
And some of it was like, oh yeah, we hollowed it out that way it didn't weigh 50 pounds. I'm like, great.
Right. Where do I put the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you want to go ahead and roll a dice and I will find a question for you?
Yeah. 6.
6. Ooh, what was your first character?
Oh wow. It was a rogue. It was in third edition. It was a rogue, and it was right when I first started. I started playing D&D because we had a teacher that either quit or left or got sick. I don't remember what it was, and we just had um, um, substitute teachers, but they didn't have anything to teach. I can't remember what exactly happened.
Yeah.
So we just had like lunch and then that class, and we played D&D for like a semester or the full year, I guess. And it was that rogue who made it maybe 10, 20 feet into a cave
Yeah.
and was immediately taken out by goblins, never rolled anything high. Yeah, he had a little rapier, and I didn't even know what that meant because I had only spoken English for like a year or 2 years,
Oh
and I was
man.
like, "It's a sword that you poke with." Okay, I thought it was like a musketeer
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I mean, it is, but like that's how I was playing it, and they're like, "No, you're supposed to be the rogue," and that was, like we were
Yeah.
just messing around.
I have to imagine that like a rogue jumping out of nowhere. On guard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love it. Have you ever brought hit that like tried to like make that rogue again and like bring him back to it like another campaign or anything? Like
Yeah,
maybe this time, buddy, you'll do a lot better.
yeah, I did. I did. I forgot what I named him, but it was something stupid. Like it was like Billy. Oh, Billy. Billy Charades is what I
Yeah.
named him. And when I brought him back like 2 years ago, it was for a friend wanted to run a one shot that he had designed, um, and the story that only the DM knew was that Billy Charades was on the run, and like all the and to Billy to being to the party, Billy was like constantly trying to sell like headshots of himself, and was just trying to like uh, gain knighthood or whatever to be like a real musketeer. And when I think when Billy died in that session, my backup character, because we were told to bring a backup character,
Yeah.
was the town guard that had been charged with finding Billy Charades for the crimes he had committed.
Oh
So
no.
like now, and instead of the headshots, he had wanted posters with the same picture.
Oh, I
Um,
love it.
so I was handing both of those out in real life of the Billy Charades headshot and then the Billy Charades wanted poster.
Oh my gosh. That's a great idea.
That's
Yeah, yeah. I tried one time talking about that. I know we got off on the SCP thing at one point.
Yeah.
I actually got these little brown sheets of paper where I'd write like things like notes to the family or whatever or something, and then I'd wrinkle them up and I'd give them to like my at home game, and they would be like, "Man, did you really do this?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "It's a little over the top, ain't it?" I'm like, "Is it? Did you enjoy this?" And I gave everybody their stuff. I was like, you can hold it on you. You can do whatever you want. And then like still to this day, some of them still have their stuff like put away somewhere. And I was like, who's the real nerd here? Who's the real nerd? The guy that gave it out or the guys that still keep it?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, what is your first character?
Oh man. So my first character, shoot, had to be oh man. So like I started off as a GM, right?
Okay.
Like my first character was probably when I made one for like Pathfinder game that never got to a table.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a bombardier, grenadier kind of goblin guy. And I was just like, I've played I grew up like playing Warcraft and Warcraft 2 and StarCraft, and I never got into World of Warcraft, but I guess that's even, I don't know, nerdier. I don't know. We'll see. But so yeah, I really liked, like, you know, like the sapper style of the goblins from those worlds. So that was probably the first one I made. However, the first one I got to a table was actually not for D&D or for anything. It was for a game called Space Force, and actually it was just launched and fulfilled, I think, from MythWorks Games. But what I was playing was a very, very early like beta test. And the person I was playing with happened to know the designer of the game, and like there was like, hey, you know, here's this game. And I was like, oh, I thought this was like a thing that was already out, I could go buy it. No, not at all. It was just, you know, a little ashcan copy. And so yeah, I played this little time traveling guy, Time Force, that's what it's called, right? Yeah, what did I say it was called? Yeah, Time Force, not Space Force. Space Force is a different game. Time Force. And yeah, it was so like had this like little time traveling kind of agent, and then I've taken that character and kind of implemented them into different facets of different games as NPCs, as GMPCs, and it's been fun to kind of take this one person, this one personality almost, and adapt them to this thing, especially that it's like, you know, time travel and dimensional and very like Doctor Who kind of vibe of like, this is the same guy, but just happens to be in 5e, or, you know, happens to be in, you know, Mothership, or you know, whatever Triangle Agency, or, you know, Mythic Bastion Lands, whatever we're playing at that time. So it's kind of cool to take this little character and move them around, and it's cool that was like my first character for this thing, you know, in this game that didn't really exist at all then. Now it does, and it's cool. It was cool, you know. I liked it.
Well,
it's fun.
And I know that y'all keep talking about Pathfinder. That's on my list to actually try. I think I got the main book for 2E, but there's so many people that are like, I'm not trying that. That seems like too much. And I'm like, but I want to play it. Can we not play it because I want to play? So
first of all, that's totally acceptable. Yes, you should be able to play a game that you want to play.
Yeah.
But I never played 2E. I played 1E, and I liked the, like, you know, the skill trees and how you can kind of craft and replace feats and traits and that kind of stuff. So that was a fun aspect of me building, but it is a lot. I understand that.
Yeah, because I think I looked at the Sumner or whatever that has the Eidolon. So that's about as far as I know. One of my friends knows about it, but he's also the guy that I keep trying to be like, hey bud, you want to come over and play 5e? And he's like, no, I'm a 3.5 guy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I do think it's important to play other editions. Like at Page, I played 1E for the first time, and that was actually like my first game that wasn't our own, whether it's a play test of some kind for the year. And that was interesting because, like, normally, you know, I've been preaching to my table. I'm like, hey, we're eating through these books. We're not playing 5e right now. We're not playing Dungeons and Dragons. And then I go and play 1e, and it was fun. It was cool. It was a good time. Emil and I played with.
I still didn't play 5e.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I didn't break my own rule. You know, and you know, like I said, we can play it, just not in the basement, not in the, you know, at the game table.
It will not cross the threshold.
I mean, there's books behind me, but whatever.
Yeah. No, I like, in my friend that's the coworker that does all that, like, he is so adamant on it. I have a joke that I always tell people now, and I was like, yeah, well, there's him, and then there's everybody else. Everybody else goes, yeah, I'll try 5e, like, that's fine. And I was like, well, at least you're not like him. He'd like to roll to wipe his ass.
Hey, you know, I often say, you know, you can only roll when there's a chance of failure, and sometimes, I don't know, I guess that could be the case.
Yeah.
You know?
So he's completely like that, like, oh. But so am I correct in saying that both of y'all kind of have like the forever GM role almost?
I know I do.
more or less.
Okay. Yeah, and that's one thing. Like a lot of us do that here too, because I think like everybody that's at Misfit is kind of like a GM or at least moving in that direction. I think the top three of us have like uh over 10 years of experience or so. Like individually, so like 30 years altogether. And I mean, just doing that, it's pretty funny. And then like other people that are GMs at your table, that when the whole group is that way and you're just kind of like, I think you guys are screwing with me sometimes, because they know they can. They know the rules well enough and everything, and they know that they can get away with it. So
Yeah, I'm big into like going to cons and like not uh like giving the forever DMs the opportunity to play and like not have to um I don't know, plan stuff out. So like
Yeah.
that's how we ended up at that game, the AD&D game, where it was like let's find something. We've been running games all day. Let's go play. Let's just like relax.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Have you guys is there anyone that's sticking out? Because I know we talked about before the show and a little bit during the show, the list of games that you have behind you to play. But is there any one of those like at the very top that you're like, this is what I would absolutely want to play and just dive into?
Oh man.
Well, you think of that. Mine is Dark Space.
Okay.
I found out about Dark Space at a page, and like our booth was like perpendicular to theirs.
Yeah.
And when I was told about like you have to worry about your battery pack and your oxygen and all this other stuff, I was like, okay, like I like having all those like levers to play with for building tension. Like that's where with Tales from the Tape Deck, where like music is just another lever for tension. So
Mhm.
so yeah, Dark Space would be the top of my list right now. What about you, Ahmed? Have you decided, or do you want me to name another?
No. I mean, all right. So I don't know if it's at the top of my list,
But that's what he asked for.
You know what? I think the top of my list. It's not so much
do you need to give me two
game. It can. I know. I got an answer. It's not so much a game because I know you can kind of plug in any system into it, but I really want to play Ultraviolet Grasslands. And it is it's I think the system is CCAT, so it's super light, but you can like the setting in the book and the map and the way that it's like this caravan of travel is just really cool, and it's been on my shelf for probably too long, and I really want to play it. It was actually my wife ended up picking it up at PAX some odd PAXs ago, and it was pitched to her as uh, Oregon Trail on psychedelics. So it seems like it would be a wild ride. And I was like, oh, cool, you're gonna run it? And she's like, no, of course not. you're gonna run it. But so I am excited for that. I think UVG would be a good time. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if your anybody from your table's listening, hey, like obviously you guys need to push this so that you guys can make somebody's dream come true. And yeah, I mean, Dark Space is great. One of the cool things that I like, knowing the person that I am, is like if somebody goes, hey, we're going to learn an RPG or we're going to play an RPG, I'm like, yeah, I'm there. Like, you tell me what it is, we'll play it. And it's funny where a lot of the people I know really gravitate more towards the fantasy aspect. And it's funny because somebody else that we know is kind of like our big nerd in the group that really loves sci-fi. and that's like where both of us. That's where both of us kind of connect on that because I'm like, dude, let's try this, let's play it, like, and like tweak it however we want to actually like make things that are more
Yeah.
sci-fi. And I mean, it's funny just having that outlook of what you could do with it. But we are coming to the end of our show. And I've had a really great talking to both of you guys. I really can't wait for Tales of the Tape Deck to come out. And it's Tuesday, so what is it, like 5 days? In 5 days it will come out.
Yeah.
And the Kickstarter and everything. So I mean, that'll be great. I hope to be one of the first people actually like backing it and everything and kickstarting it. I can't wait for it, but it sounds great. And of course, you know, getting to see you guys in the flesh at some point. But where can everybody find you guys at?
So I am everything for me is centralized in joseyamil.com. So JOSEYAMIL.com, or J Yamil Writes on Instagram. But SuffetyGames.com is where you should go for now. That's where we have the pre-launch page for Tales from the Tape Deck, and I'll let Ahmed tell you about the rest of his website.
Oh yeah, I guess there's that too. So I am a woodworker, and I make dice trays and boxes and that kind of stuff too. So you can find all that. You know, it's handmade by me on Suffety.com, SUFFETY. And it's Suffety Games everywhere else on the internet. And that's where you can find all of adventures, and there's freebie adventures out there. There's all kinds of stuff, mothership stuff coming out, and then of course Tales from the Tape Deck, which we're very excited about, which just launches February 24th. For those that are not watching live, and hopefully we'll see you there with it. It's going to be a good time, and we're very excited to share it with the world.
Awesome. Well, and with that, as we like to say at the end of all of our shows, we'll hold up a mug, have our last drink, and as this tale gets added into the brick of our tavern, we'll bid you guys all a good farewell. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.